Hi everyone, my name is Heather Cross, and Billy and I decided to do our math model presentation on number bonding. I just wanted to remind all of us that we are math superheroes, and we are mathematicians, okay? So let's get started. So what is a number bond? Number bonds show the bond between two numbers and their sum, and sometimes even their difference. It usually demonstrates the relationship between the parts, the numbers, and the whole, which is the sum. The ultimate goal of using number bonds is to instantly tell the answer without the need for calculation. So this is a number bond diagram where there is a whole at the top, a whole number at the top, and then it is split up into two parts at the bottom. In this case, we have 10 as the whole, and then we have 3 and 7 as the two parts. So 3 plus 7 equals 10. Or you can also split it up as just thinking about like 10 minus 7 is 3, just like that. But I saw this anchor chart online and I thought it was really awesome. It shows multiple different ways of how we use number bonds. So we can use math cubes, you can use it as a 10 frame, and then we can also use the diagram, and we can also use a diagram with other things such as dominoes. And again, you can use it to compose numbers and decompose numbers.
Now that we know what number bonds are, let's take a look at how they can help students access math content. First off, number bonds help students build number fluency, helping them understand how numbers can be broken into smaller numbers, or how two numbers can come together to form a new number. Number bonds can also help students with mental math and the ability to quickly compute numbers together. Lastly, number bonds can be beneficial in helping students break numbers apart to form tens. For example, when adding 6 plus 7, students know that 7 can be broken up to 4 and 3, and that 6 plus 4 equals 10, and 10 plus 3 equals 13. What kind of math are number bonds used to teach? Well, for the most part, addition and subtraction. For example, in kindergarten and first grade, they can help build number sense in students and can help students learn their math facts. If you look at the example on the page, you can see that a student in this example is learning their math fact families for the number 6. They can see that 2, 4 create 6, or 4 plus 2 equals 6, or 6 minus 4 equals 2. For upper grades, they could still be used to illuminate mental math strategies, such as making tens when adding or subtracting large numbers. For example, on the page you can see adding 297 plus 60, a student can know that they can break 60 into 3 and 57, and know that 300 plus 57 equals 357.
So now we're going to be talking about the concrete phase of number bonds. So during the concrete phase, students will begin to comprehend the part-part-whole relationship with the use of manipulatives. So again, this is hands-on experience with number bonding. So first, we're going to break students into groups of 2 and then give students 3 plates that are labeled part, part, and whole, just like in this picture over here. And then after that, we're going to give them 20 math cubes to place on just 20 math cubes in general. And then we're going to ask students to place 10 of those cubes on the plate labeled whole. Now have students put the 10 cubes into 2 groups. So they're going to, then they will put the 2 groups on the plates labeled parts. So they're going to break that into they're going to break the 10 cubes into the 2 groups. By putting 10 counters into the 2 groups, children learn the different ways that 10 can be made. So for example, 5 and 5, 6 and 4, 7 and 3. And then you're going to repeat with different numbers. So you can do 8 as a whole number instead, and then they will split it into 4 and 4, 6 and 2, 7 or 1. There's lots of different ways and numbers that you can do with this activity. Also, another great concrete activity to do would be number links or number chains. And we talk about a little bit about this more at the end of our presentation. And now we're going to be talking about the semi-concrete phase.
A semi-concrete activity involving number bonds might be having a student complete a worksheet that has addition and subtraction problems presented with their number bonds. While there still is the visualization of the number bond, it is not being physically interacted with using manipulatives in the same way that it is in a concrete activity.
So just going off what Billy said, during the semi-concrete phase, students will elaborate more on the part-part-whole relationship by writing number bonds in workbooks, on worksheets, or on whiteboards. Just like in this picture, this is an example of what it would look like on a whiteboard, something that they could change. And then these are representations of worksheets that students can possibly do. And then here's an activity that can be done in a math notebook. So students will take out their math notebooks and turn to a clean page. Then they will draw a number bond diagram and fill it in accordingly. The teacher can write a hole on the board and one of its parts. Then students will need to fill out the other part. For example, the teacher can write 10 in the top circle and 4 in the circle to the left. And then students will need to fill in the number 6 in order to complete the number bond. Lastly, we're going to be talking about the abstract phase. So during the abstract phase, students progress to representing abstract problems using mathematical notation. For example, 7 plus 3 equals 10. So they'll be solving these. So solving math equations without the use of the model. And students will be given a worksheet with addition problems on it. And then they will be using their new knowledge of part-part-whole relationships, and students will solve the math problems by doing so. So for instance, this could be a possible worksheet that they're given. So you have, they will write out the math problem in this case. So it would be 11 is the whole, and then you have 3 as a part, and then we don't know the other part, so then they would fill it in. And then also here's just another example of a simple addition problem that students could solve. So now this is your turn. So this is our class activity. So the activity is called number bonding chains. We're doing this for the first grade. The guiding question is how many different chain link combinations can you make for the number 5? And then the follow-up activity, like if you were a teacher completing this and you're running out of time, would be asking students to write out the part-part-whole relationship on a number bond diagram. So after you're done completing the chain links, just going back and making sure that they create the number bond diagram to really solidify what they're learning.
Hey class, for today's activity, we're going to be exploring part-part-whole relationships through making number bond chains. The supplies you're going to need for today's activity is going to be 2 different colors of construction paper, some scissors to cut them into strips. You're going to want to cut about 25 strips of each construction paper. You're also going to need some pens, a black marker, as well as some pens that relate to the different colors that your strips are. And then to finish the activity, we're going to actually be drawing some number bond diagrams to label our number bonds. Once your class has finished doing the guiding question activity and they've made all of their number bond chains, you can help them make the link between those chains and the number bonds. And the way they're going to do that is by making number bond diagrams. So you're going to help them fill out a number bond diagram based on one of their chains. So for example, in this chain, you could say we have 3 orange. They could write 3 in the orange marker and then 2 in the blue to make 5 in the number bond. You can then show them that's the same thing as saying 3 plus 2 equals 5 in an addition question. So we'd love for you to take one of the number bond chains that you made and make the number bond diagram and addition question to go with it, and post that picture of you holding that onto our blog. Thanks.
So again, just to make sure we understand, so the number bonding chains, the supplies that you will need, you're going to need some construction paper. You're going to need 2 different colors for this activity. We are doing it based on chain links of 5, and we're asking students to pretty much make several different chain link combinations so that they learn the different ways to make 5. So you have 2 and 3, you have 3 and 2, 4 and 1, 1 and 4, with the different colors of those different numbers flip-flop matter. But yeah, so you're going to need to cut them out into strips. We did 25 of each color. And then, so you need a pair of scissors to do that with the construction paper of 2 different colors. You also need a glue stick, or you can also use a stapler to staple the chain links together, or you can tape them. But again, this is first grade, so it's up to you what you would want to do with your students. And then you're also going to need a piece of paper to draw the diagram and a couple pens, 2 different colors. It'd be great if they matched the color of your paper, just to like, really reinforce what we're doing here. But anyways, so how to link the paper. So you're going to put a little bit of glue on the end of one strip, and then you're gonna put it together just like this, just like fold it over to make a circle. And then in order to make the links, you're going to do the same thing. So get another piece of paper, another strip of paper, and then you're going to put glue on one side. But before you close it to make the circle, you're actually going to put it through the circle you just made. And then that way it goes through it. And then you're going to go ahead and close it. And then that is how you make the links. So you keep going until you reach the final amount, which is 5. And then this is what it's going to look like at the very end. This is the final results. So you're going to have a link of 5. You can have 2 and 3, like you said previously. And then after that, you're going to make a number bond diagram, and then you're going to represent your 2 parts and then your whole in that diagram. And then you're just going to go ahead and you can staple it at the bottom, you can tape it, whatever you like to do. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. And just remember, now you're a mathematician too after learning this math model. Thank you so much. Have a good day.